Chapter 8 Fate. After seeing Vorden perform well on the test, Quinn couldn't help but think about what Vorden's ability was. When Vorden went to shake his hand that time, it said that Vorden had tried to use his ability on Quinn. Yet for some reason, his ability didn't work. If Vorden's ability was ice, surely his hand would have just frozen, unless Quinn had an ability to block all abilities, but that was highly unlikely. Not only that, but straight after even Vorden had a strange reaction and had asked Quinn what his ability was. As if he knew his ability didn't work. Then another thought came into Quinn's mind: why was Vorden so adamant on shaking everyone's hand he had just met? If Quinn remembered correctly, Aaron refused to shake Vorden's hand, but in the end, Vorden still went to touch Aaron on the shoulder. At the time it seemed like a weird thing to do, but now Quinn realized it wasn't, and everything was starting to make sense. Touching was the condition. The last person Quinn touched was Aaron. It couldn't be a coincidence that both of them had the same powers. Which meant most likely that Vorden's ability was the ability to copy other people's ability. It didn't work on Quinn because his ability wasn't straightforward. Quinn couldn't help his curiosity and had to ask, "Hey, Vorden, is your ability?" Quinn whispered, "Are you able to copy other people's abilities?" Vorden looked at Quinn and smiled. "I'm surprised you figured it out so fast. How did you know?" "When you shook my hand, you were surprised when nothing happened." Vorden thought Quinn was quite amazing to be able to guess something like that just from a handshake. After all, it was much more likely that Vorden had obtained the ice ability from an ability book. The power for copying wasn't available as an ability book, which meant one thing. "Are you an original?" Quinn asked. Vorden didn't say anything but simply gave a wink back at Quinn, which pretty much confirmed Quinn's thoughts. Vorden was an original, a person from a family who decided to not share their abilities with the outside world. Someone who was usually able to surpass the power level of 8. Once the test had been completed, the hooded man teleported the students to the front of the academy where they would be staying. The academy was huge and the tallest building in the entire city. It was as if someone had put together 3 hotels. There was a total of 10 different teachers that were currently standing in front of the academy. In front of them were groups of students who had all finished taking the test. The students were told to wait with the teachers until all the students had finished conducting their tests. Once in a while, a group of 5 students would be teleported in front of one of the teachers. Finally, where Quinn was standing, there now was a total of 20 students. "Okay, you all need to follow me as I take you around the school," the teacher up front said. The teacher was a middle-aged man with blonde curly hair and wore glasses. His name was Dell. While Dell walked around describing the various places of the academy, he couldn't help but smile. It looked like nothing was able to upset him. "You guys should start to get to know each other as much as you can," Dell said. "After all, the people you are with now will be your classmates." Suddenly everyone started to get chattier with each other as they were being shown around the school, but there was something Quinn had noticed. The mid-levels were trying their best to get friendly with the higher levels, while the low levels were being completely ignored. And Quinn and Peter were the only 2 level 1s in the class. Without realizing it, they had been pushed to the back of the class, and Peter was plodding along with his head held down. It seemed to have affected Peter a lot more than Quinn, but Quinn had already suspected this would happen. Suddenly though, a familiar voice was heard calling out Quinn's name. "There you are," Vorden said. "Man, people just started jumping all over me, then all of a sudden I look to my right and you're gone. Come on, let's look around together, friend." Quinn truly thought Vorden was a strange person, but that wasn't a bad thing. Vorden then noticed Peter was on his own as well. "Come on, you come over too, stop being a downer." Peter looked up and pointed a finger at himself. "Who else do you think I'm talking to?" Vorden said. The 3 of them continued to hang at the back of the class while the teacher continued to tour around the school. They were shown a battle arena, where they had similar testing equipment to the filed on the wasteland, as well as several square fighting platforms. They were also shown their homeroom classes, battle classes, sports rooms, and all sorts. Dell would explain a little bit about each area of the school they visited, but Quinn was uninterested in most of it until they had finally reached the library. The library here is split into 3 floors, as you can see. First-year students are only able to access the first floor, second-year students can also go on the second floor, and finally, the last floor is only for military personnel. Quinn was interested in the library because it contained books that weren't available to the public. Here, Quinn just might find some information about his ability, he just hoped it would be on the first floor. Finally, the tour was coming to an end as Dell stopped just outside the school's dorms. And this is where you will be staying during your stay here. Once you have dropped off your things, feel free to explore around the academy. There will be no lessons today, so you will get to have the rest of the afternoon to explore. Each student was then handed a number on a piece of paper 1B1 which displayed which room they would be staying in. Quinn then noticed from the corner of his eye Vorden coming towards him. "Hey, Quinn, what room number you got?" Vorden asked. "Air 23. No way, you're kidding, right? I got the same number. Maybe it's fate bringing us together," Vorden said excitedly. "Maybe," Quinn replied. Meanwhile, somewhere down the hallway, 2 other students were having a conversation. "Whoa, what happened to you?" a student said, looking at his friend. "I don't know, man, some guy just came and hit me out of nowhere and swapped room numbers. Man, should we try to get it back?" the student asked. "Nah, if I saw his wrist correctly, it said he was a level 5. It's best if we just leave it."